What's good? Welcome to First Stream Podcast presented by Bet Rivers. On today's episode of First Stream Podcast, we have the one and only Lou Holder joining us today. We're going to recap the Commanders versus the Atlanta Falcons. Brian Robinson had an outstanding day. We'll go around the NFL. We'll have 5 minutes with Ant. We'll talk a little World Cup and a lot more other things as well. Thank you all for joining. Let's go.
Artlist.io.
Welcome back to First Stream Podcast presented by Bet Rivers. Make sure you download the Bet Rivers app or go to www.betrivers.com. You must be 21 years or older to play. Well, we got everybody backstage. Nah, not everybody. We're missing one. But let's get everybody in here. Say it. What's good, man? How are you?
What's going on, my brother? How you doing today?
Doing good. Hey, you got all your Georgia stuff on? I know you're hoping for the best.
I'm already ready, my brother.
All right. Well, no worries. No Bulldog worries.
Michigan again.
Oh, okay. The lady A, how are you?
I'm doing well, but look who popped in.
Look. It ain't your turn. It ain't your turn.
It's Victory Tuesday now.
Victory Tuesday. That's right. Let's get it. Victory Tuesday.
I'm sorry, Sid.
Yeah. All right, let's get them in here now. Ant, how you doing, man?
Man, traffic was a monster, but all is well, sir.
All is well. That's great. Now, listen, I hope you all have studied. We're giving you plenty of time, right, to get your pens and papers ready because the professor is in the building. We got Lou Holder here with us. How you doing, Lou?
Hey, what's up, family? How y'all doing?
Hello.
We are doing great. It looks like
happy holidays to y'all.
Same to you.
You looks like you're still at
Same to
work.
you.
Is that what I see going on over there?
Man, you know, I can't divulge the location of the Bat Cave.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
These are all the places that are special to me. You know, Temple University, where I went to grad school. Rutgers University, where I went to undergrad. Howard University, where my mom went, and that's where my son graduated. They're both Howard Bison. And Prince George's Community College is where I teach currently. And that's the Bowie State Bulldog there on the side over there. Boom.
With the daughter.
There it is. Well, my daughter is a freshman at Bowie State University. So
All right.
I had to put all that in there.
Well, I can probably say I'm one that got kicked out of Howard for not going to class. Okay, how about that? That's enough of that. Let's say hello to everyone in the building. Droopy's first in the building today. What's good, Droop? Followed by our guy, Bruce Glass. Bruce, we thank you. We appreciate you. Droop as well for being so faithful, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for real. And then it looks like Bruce got a crazy parlay going on right now, too. Some 9-leg parlay World Cup. All right. They're having a conversation. Kyle is in the building. What's good, Kyle? He says, good evening to everyone. And he said, Lou, this is for you.
Mm-hmm.
Lou, the goat. Yeah. So,
I'm honored.
Before we get into the Commanders, when we're getting there, y'all, if y'all don't know, Lou is all over the soccer thing. So let's go straight to Team USA, shall we? Team USA won today, 1-0, right? 1-0. So they are advancing to the knockout portion of this. Lou, what have you seen in Team USA so far?
So, I mean, I see something that we can all be proud of. I mean, these are young guys. You know, the conversation that I had with my former teammate Alexi Lalas before he went to Qatar was that this is a team that's primed and ready for 2026 when the World Cup is here in 4 years.
Yeah.
All those guys are young. They're in the 19, 20, 21, 22. And to go through their group and only giving up one goal, and that goal was a penalty kick, you know, to Wales. I mean, they shut out England and they shut out Iran. Matt Turner, I'm telling you that Christian Pulisic has a goal that is going to go down in soccer lore here in this country.
Yeah.
But without Matt Turner, we're not talking about anything. He saved everything, right? And the only thing he couldn't save was a penalty kick that, you know, it's hard for a goalie to so multiple shutouts. They get out of the group. They play the Netherlands on Saturday. And this is something that I've seen on social media, people who don't even know about soccer. You know, they it's our country, right? And the fact is we were embarrassed 4 years ago when we weren't even in the tournament, right? For a country this size to not be in the tournament is an abomination, right? So to get to the World Cup was one leg. If you were talking about your legs or your parlay or whatever you all talking about, the first leg to get into the tournament, right?
Get into it, right?
Is to get out of your group, right? Now you playing with house money, right? They are young, they're full of energy, and they are so likable. They're so likable. But again, without that goalie, we've seen it in hockey. We've seen it in a lot. When you get a hot goalie, you can ride that goalie far. And if they continue to play like that, Matt Turner is shutting things down. I mean, 2 shutouts in the group stage. I mean, I don't know how I can impress to you in the game of soccer, football, whatever. That is massive for you to be able to shut out 2 opponents in a group stage. So kudos to them. Pulisic just laid out. I mean, that's a metaphor for life. Sometimes you just gotta lay out if you want victory in your life. I mean, you know the goalie was gonna be there. You know a collision was gonna happen. But yo, he wanted that. He wanted that bad. And how bad? That's the thing. First String Podcast family. How bad do you want it?
How bad do you want it?
How bad do you want it? That
Right.
is a metaphor for life. If you see an obstacle in there and you know you might have to hit it, how bad do you want it?
You gotta lay out for it. You gotta lay out.
That was a metaphor for life right there. So kudos to them. That's my sport. That's the sport that I love. And I like a lot of people. I can do without the flopping and the rolling around like tumbleweed in a Western movie and all kind of stuff like that. But when it comes down to heart and it comes down to, you know, you have to win to move on, right? A tie, you were out.
A do or die.
A loss, you were out. You had to win to get in, and they found a way to win. So kudos to them.
Kudos to them. Exactly. Kyle's already on it. He said USA plus 196 on Saturday. Let's go. Kyle's already on it. So, Lou, what position did you play in soccer?
I played defense. I was a forward in high school, but when I got to college, all the guys that played forward were all Americans and better than me. So I was just happy to be on the field.
You made the squad. You made the field.
Absolutely. I was just happy to be on the field.
So I always ask this question of soccer players, and this will tell me what type of soccer player you were, is how many red cards did you collect in your collegiate career?
I mean, you know, I was a kinder, gentler guy. I wasn't, violent, so I didn't get no red cards.
Yellow? How many yellow cards?
Multiple.
Okay, there we go. That's what I need to know
I have warnings, and I have warnings all over my life. every day of my life is a yellow card.
So it's called tenacity. It's called tenacity. Yes. All right. So they said just tone it down just a little bit. Now let's talk about this one thing that Sayed is really ready for right now. Let's talk about Sunday. And he's been jumping at the bit. He's like, I can't wait to get Lou Holder on here to tell us what he saw.
Man, don't listen to Pick. I already know what I saw. I watched the game. I know what I saw.
What are we talking about? Are we talking about the game, or are we talking about the memorial?
Well, we're just talking game first. We're going to get to the memorial.
Yes.
Because
second team that's
yes,
the second team that's let the Commanders off the hook that refuses to get inside of the 5-yard line and run the ball. That's what I took from it. The Bears did the same thing. Why are you throwing the ball inside of the 5 like you're Aaron Rodgers or somebody? Just run the ball. I mean, congratulations, on the W. I'm not gonna hate on that. It's good to see the NFC East looking relevant. No, I'm not. But
there you go.
Listen,
there you go.
As much as I could say I want my team to dominate, I also want to see football executed in the right way. And it seems like these teams, I don't know what goes through their mind. This isn't like you're going for 2 to win the game like we've seen a lot happen this weekend or something. This is just basic, bro. If you get in the red zone inside the 5, don't think about dropping back the pass, okay? We don't got a line full of LTs or Ndamukong Suhs there. Just run the ball. Throw a screen for crying out loud. But don't pull a Russell Wilson. That's all I'm saying.
And the thing is, the Commanders did the same thing in that Tennessee game where you're just you're on the 1, you're on the 2-yard line. Why are you throwing the ball? So, I mean, it's just there's been some good football played throughout the NFL this year, and there's just been some dumb stuff that you just don't understand. So I'm fortunate and I'm happy that the Washington Commanders were on the winning end of some of that dumb stuff, because I was like, why are they not running the ball? But at the end of the day, Deron Payne still had to get his hand up there, and Kendall Fuller still had to catch it. And over the last couple of games, this defense is turning the ball over. Yep. And not only they turn the ball over in that Houston game, they had a pick 6. Yep. So the stuff that you wanted to see from that defense, and Chase Young isn't even back yet, rest assured, I mean, let's be honest. We don't know if he was sick or not. I think they were holding him out. I think they're going to hold him out this week because they're playing on turf. Then they have the bye. When the Giants are here on the 18th, oh, yeah. So I just love the fact that the defense is turning it over. Hey, look, and if Atlanta's going to do dumb stuff, somebody has to capitalize on the dumb
stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, Ant said it pretty. I mean, he pretty much hit the nail on the head. I mean, I watched the same game he watched, and Atlanta was running the ball downhill. They was running the ball downhill. Yeah. Why get into the 3-yard line and stop running the ball downhill?
Yeah.
I mean, you should have ran the ball. It should have been 4 straight runs from the 3 to see if they could stop it. Mariota is not a throwing quarterback. He's had one game where he had a nice game in throwing the ball. One this year. One.
Mm-hmm. Cordarrelle Patterson, Debo before Debo. At least give that man a try to do something. I mean, he's an anomaly essentially. I mean, how long has he been in the league now, and he's still highly effective? Took a kick return back a week or so ago.
Last week.
I wouldn't throw him the ball before I handed it off or pitched it to him. That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, see, this is what baffles me about Atlanta. You know, you talking about we're going to do what we need to do to win. Who came up with this stupid? I mean, it's almost like the Russell Wilson pass play Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Marshawn Lynch was just gashing them. Why are you throwing the ball? They can't stop the run. Yeah. You can't stop the run. If that was Belichick, they can't stop the run. We run left, we run right, run left, run. We're going to run 4 straight times. Mm-hmm. But hey, you know.
I'm sorry, Sid, but I appreciate your team for doing that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I love your team for doing that, Sid.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
that's your team?
Kudos.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm from Georgia.
And you know what?
Just because you're from Georgia doesn't mean you have to root for the Atlanta Falcons.
Hey, I'm a homie.
Okay. I mean, okay.
As you can see, the 12 and those Georgia Bulldogs are still here.
I got the Georgia stuff, but I didn't see no Atlanta Falcons stuff on there. I don't see Atlanta Falcons hat.
He's mad.
He's protesting.
I'm on a protest.
I see a lot of the Georgia stuff, but I didn't know that they're related to the Atlanta Falcons. You know what I'm saying?
He's angry with them this season.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
I'm gonna protest, but okay, here we go.
If you're gonna be walking signage, make sure the signage fit.
Hey,
You know the interesting thing about this team, and I've said it for quite a few weeks now, is, man, I seen Lou, I seen the stuff that you posted in the locker room. I see how these guys are just, they enjoy being around each other.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's ever said that Heineke is about to go out and put a bid in for MVP, but he's a guy you can get behind, and he has something, he has that it factor that transcends sometimes what talent has to actually be to a certain level. But this team believes in each other, and
Yeah.
they fought through a lot of stuff. I mean, I heard a lot of people talking about what the record could be, and I always thought, no matter who the quarterback was going to be, that the defense was going to be the deciding factor in how far this team went. You know, it's the thing that is carried over from year to year. So, it is what it is. You know, I still think, I'll save my takes on what I think is going to happen in the NFC East for 5 good minutes. But, the team is they're executing. Like, Lou's right about that. You still got to tip the ball. You still got to catch it, and people were just talking so bad about Fuller last week and how he's old and he can't move. But winning ails all, as always.
And then shout out to Brian
one
Robinson.
thing that's not old is Fuller's mind.
Yeah. But I want to give a shout out to Brian Robinson.
Fuller's mind
is pick. I don't know.
Go ahead, Lady A. Go ahead, Lady A.
I was going to give a shout out to Brian Robinson. This season for him is so much more than just a rookie season. Look at what happened. He gets shot and comes back in a remarkable time. You really don't hear of anything like that. And then not just come back and playing in the game, but to the point where he got the game ball. He has over 100 yards rushing. Come on now. Like, we can't be more proud of him.
And don't forget about the big hat. Don't forget about the big hat.
I think, Sid, I've only said this to Sid. I know y'all think it's amazing. I think that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. but it's cool.
But you have to.
Well, see, here's the thing. It's that we have people at every single game that wear those. So I've seen it, but I've never seen one of the players wear it. So that was a big thing.
Nothing's new under the sun. Doesn't Pharrell have a big mountain hat? Look, if you ever watched that movie, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, they had the Big Hat Club. Hey, look, if you even go back even further, because we all are in the same age group or whatever, when the Flintstones had the Great Kazoo.
Oh, wow.
Big-headed things
now you show your age.
Have always been fascinating, man. So you know what? But lady, you are so right, man. Look, after what that man has been through, right? To have a 100-yard game, his team has won six out of the last 7, right? Mm-hmm. And he's alive. Let that boy live his life. I don't care what you do. Look, I was around when every week Clinton Portis was dressing up as a new character. It was Southeast Jerome.
Yes, Southeast Jerome.
I'm gonna get you. It was Coach Danky Spanky.
I remember that. That was fun.
You know who let all that happen?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
The coaches.
Joe Gibbs let all that happen.
Yep.
So Ed, you brought up something. Lou and the Holder Hangout. If you guys don't know, you gotta follow Lou on Twitter. He posts on YouTube as well. It's called the Holder Hangout, where he has these interviews with players, reporters, celebrities, and he gives you like a quick just glimpse. It's not regular questions that they get asked. Lou ran up on the guy and asked him the candy yams. That was default, right?
It was orange chicken.
Orange chicken, yeah, with the bone in. Orange chicken with the bone in.
Kendall Fuller, and then they were ripping him, right? Because he had bone in on his orange chicken, and they're like, orange chicken don't have bones in it. And so, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that in the locker room that we're seeing every single day when we go out there. Those guys are just having fun. I mean, but they're getting the job done. They're getting the job done. But yeah, so that thing was about orange chicken.
and pick one last thing I want to add about Brian Robinson and about how the team has kind of shifted. This is the reality. I think he had the ability to do this earlier in the season. People were saying he still needs to get back, and that's fine. But, he had already been running well in the preseason before the injury.
Right.
The thing is, the team has decided now that they're going to really control the game with the run instead of trying to pass it 1,000 times.
I think that last year they went on a 4-game winning streak, and the formula was run the ball.
Right.
I think that with the wide receivers, with Curtis Samuel being healthy and Jahan Dodson being drafted, the focus never shifted off of the run. But what it said was, what my thought is that if you load that box where we have 3 wide out and 1 running back in, because we're going to run the ball at you, it's easier to run at a lighter box than it is 3 tight ends and everything like that, where everybody knows they're going to put their linebackers in and stuff like that. But I think that was, if you load that box, we're going to hurt you with one of these wide receivers. That's my thinking. I can't say that was what the coaches were thinking, but the formula for this team has always been run the ball, control the clock, and win with defense.
I mean, you got to do that in the NFC East. I mean, when it gets nasty and rainy like it was on Sunday, and then in December where it's going to get cold, you can't be throwing the ball, 20, 30 times. You're going to have to run the ball. And the thing about it is, if you pour true serum into every lineman, from Trent Williams all the way down, they would rather run block than pass block.
Right.
So, I mean, at that point, you gotta establish the line of scrimmage, and you gotta make that run game. I mean, Brian Robinson's touchdown where he just bulldozed that guy, a rookie, into the end zone.
2 of them.
I mean, that the people that were the happiest besides Brian Robinson was that offensive line. Because now, I mean, that they love that. If I interview, or I get a chance tomorrow or this week to interview Leno or any of those guys, they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, Brian Robinson's our friend."
Right. So I want to talk about strength on strength real fast with you, Lou. Atlanta Falcon, the Commanders and the Falcons are the teams that run the ball. I think you could throw Tennessee in there as well, right? But this was strength on strength. The Commanders' defensive line versus the Atlanta Falcons' offensive line. And in the beginning of this game, you saw the Atlanta Falcons coming up with double teams, and they were moving our guys back. There was a shift in the second half. We went to a 5-man line. Those double teams were not as effective anymore. And you saw our defense stop those 4 and 5 yard runs. Now they turned into 2 yard runs and 1 yard runs. Is our defensive line, we gave everyone the blueprint on Philly on how to attack them. Did Atlanta give people a blueprint on us on how to attack our defense now?
Wow. I mean, that's a good question, because, I mean, the Chase Young factor is really, really going to change some things. I don't think you could really and again, I spoke on this the last time I was with you. Besides Ron Rivera, who, by the way, should be up for Coach of the Year. Let's just put it right out there. If they continue to win games, what he's been through and the stuff that he's had to navigate, this team to be anywhere near respectable and 2 games over 500, if they get anywhere near the playoffs and actually even win, he should be in the running for Coach of the Year. But that being said, I was always looking at the defensive coordinator in Jack Del Rio, and I was always looking at Scott Turner. Jack Del Rio, I have to give it up to him. He is calling some masterful football games, and Deron Payne and Allen and Montez Sweat. I mean, look,
Sweat's a new person. He's a whole new person.
Yeah.
And the happiest I am is for Jamin Davis, because the way he was challenged in the media after the week one win.
Right.
It was a win.
Yep.
The way he was challenged. Now Cole Holcomb is out. Look, Jamin Davis is holding it down as the linebacker, and these guys are getting home. They're getting to the quarterback, and I just think everything is working together. So I don't think any blueprint has been really shown because Jack Del Rio is figuring stuff out, and he's using all his pieces masterfully.
Mhm.
Well, I was
me.
told that there's a person on First String Podcast, not going to say no names, Lady A, that is trying to get to Scott Turner if he doesn't run the ball. So every now and again, he sees the cameras and he sees her coming, and then he decides to run the ball.
Yep.
He did that in the second half, and it had me worried because I know that they let this young man out of jail, Williams, who ran so hard. Like you had B Rob running hard, and then you brought Williams in, and it gave our other guy, Gibson, a chance to relax. And I started to wonder, is he hurt? What is it? But Williams is fresh. Rob is good. You take some of those hits off of Gibby. I mean, but when you have this many running backs and you still have your wide receivers and your tight ends to go with, I understand it's tempting to throw the ball. But Lady A keeps reminding Scott, I will come for you if you don't call some running plays. I mean, our offense has to hit another gear here soon.
Yeah. I was in the building. He knew better.
What do you think, Lou? What do you think?
Oh, about the offense having to step up?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's stepping up every week. I mean, Taylor Heineke is the right person for this offense. He may not be a world beater or whatever, but, you talked about the Holder Hangout. When I interviewed Sal Palantonio, I couldn't even get the sentence out as far as Carson Wentz goes, don't do it. Don't do it. Taylor Heineke gets the ball out. He masters the playbook. Hut, the ball is out. I just think that we haven't even talked about Jahan Dotson in the last couple of weeks, and they're still getting it. I mean, that game was won with just pure grinding it out on the ground, and then some good old-fashioned defense. So again, this team can win in a number of ways, but they're going to need all of that up in New York. New York has never been kind to the Washington franchise. There's been some crazy games going up there. They got two games, and sandwiched in there is the most ridiculous placement of a bye week that I have ever seen in my entire career. Why is a bye week in December? I have no idea, but they do have back-to-back, and for some reason, I'm just praying that this bye week does not slow down the momentum of this team, because it's almost like if you talk to players and they're on a win streak, you do not want to bye then. You want to keep on playing. Yeah. And they got back-to-back games of the Giants, which I think will basically tell the season. It will tell the season, because you can't lose both of those games, because then all the rest of the games it puts you right back in the hole. It puts you right back in the hole.
Yeah, they will. Ant, go ahead. I know you was itching to say something.
So my thing is, can they score all these different ways? Like, no doubt that the receiving core is the receiving core, and there's so much promise in the wide receiver room, and the running backs are all this. But I still think the downfall of this team is still going to come down to quarterback. And it doesn't, like Heineke, I said it before they made the switch. He definitely fits this team better based off of the deficiencies of the line than Carson did, and once again, they believe in him. Carson, apparently nobody wanted him, or whatever. But I think when it matters most, I got a question is, has he shown that he's been able to elevate the team or provide something better? Have you seen a progression in him as a quarterback to where when it may get to one of these situations where maybe the run game ain't clicking, that he can step up and make the play that's going to put him over the top?
I mean, I think we saw that in the Philly game. I mean, the way he was throwing darts to Terry McLaurin and everything like that. All I'll say is, Ant, the team is responding. Again, you have your talent, but then you have the heart and moxie that you can't really you can't really put a label on it. And the guy is not asked to win games. He's basically asked not to lose games, right? And the thing is, when more and more weapons come, who knows what's going to happen, right? So you just don't know. But what you do know is Carson Wentz is not the answer. Let's just call that what it is, right? We don't know. We don't know what Taylor Heineke is going to give you. And to be quite honest, Ron Rivera is all in for the Six Flags World, the Ferris wheel down at the National Harbor. He's all in for that. He knows that you're going to get the ups and downs with Taylor Heineke, but what we do know is that what Carson Wentz brings to the table, it's just too slow. It's methodical. It's like a sloth out there trying to get the ball out, and the offensive line hates that. They hate it. They're not going to tell you that, but these guys want to play for Taylor Heineke. So they got to now. And let me just be honest with you: the long-term fix at quarterback may not be Taylor Heineke. He probably isn't. But for right here and right now, unless you don't think that Sam Howell is ready, you draft another quarterback in the draft or whatever. But the whole thing is, I don't know how, at this point, how you could go back to Carson Wentz at any point, right? At any point. I just don't know how you do that. The money that was paid on him, that's the only thing that I can see that they put him in there if there's something going wrong. But I'm like, look, if Taylor Heineke doesn't work out, I'm like, yo, let's go to Sam Howell and see what he can do. I've already seen what Carson Wentz can do, and it ain't pretty.
And that's what – thank you for clarifying that last part, because Pick fails to realize how many times they said how much they love Sam Howell, how you got to protect them. Now, all of a sudden, just draft somebody. And I'm like, if y'all fall out of contention in the next couple –
Wait, what? I said let Carson go. You let Carson go and you draft another quarterback. And y'all keep saying, but you don't even know what you have in Sam Howell. I don't care, but you got to have three on the roster.
Right.
You don't draft another first-round quarterback.
You draft another one. You
don't draft another first-round quarterback, and you got a first-round quarterback. You don't do that.
You do
need another.
That defeats the purpose of drafting a quarterback to develop him over a year. And then because you don't know what he has. You do not know what he has. How many games has he played?
You just heard the professor say
how many games has he played?
Another quarterback.
He said, wait a minute, wait, Pick. He said, if you don't trust in old boy Carson, whatever his name is, bring in Sam Howell to see what you got. Hey. If he does not have it, then draft the quarterback. That's what he said. He didn't say, wait a minute, Pick. He didn't say just draft another quarterback. That's not what he said. That's not what he just said. The only thing you heard was draft another quarterback.
Thank you.
That's the only part you heard.
How you gonna mute me?
I didn't mute nobody. My hands is right here.
Oh Lord.
I'm sorry, Pick. I mean, I know it's your show, but Cedric's right. I never said that. I definitely didn't say you draft him in the first round.
No, I didn't. I didn't say the first round. I said draft another quarterback.
What?
Where you gonna draft him at? What's the problem you run into? This is the problem you run into. The more you guys win, the harder it's gonna be to get a top pick at quarterback. Yeah. Those quarterbacks are gonna go early. So the least that you can do is find out and it's only if you fall out of contention. If you guys end up making a playoffs or whatever, you got a decision to make. You're still gonna have to get rid of Carson. You're still gonna have to get rid of Carson.
Hold on.
Okay.
No, I'm just going to ask you a question. Do we have a NFL starting caliber quarterback on our roster right now?
I mean,
no, not a quarterback that is good for the team. I'm talking about, do we have we don't, right?
You don't know.
Can I ask you an honest question? What is that anymore?
What is that?
Well, define. Because, I mean, there's only a couple of teams that have an Aaron Rodgers or a Jalen Hurts or whatever. I mean, so define what you mean for a starting NFL caliber quarterback. What does that mean?
Yeah. That means that when everything else is breaking down, hey, this run game is not working right now. Quick game isn't working. We're going to put the ball in your hand. You make something happen. And well,
3/4 of the league. 3/4 of the league doesn't have that.
Exactly, but everyone is looking for that. Everyone is looking for their Joe Burrow, their Josh Allen, their Patrick Mahomes, their Dak Prescott. right? Yes, I said Dak Prescott because, believe it or not, Dak Prescott is that guy. He can scramble. He can get you some yards with his legs, right? I'm not saying Kirk Cousins because I think that's a dying breed. Doc has told you guys that's a dying breed. Sitting there with the pocket quarterback, that's a dying breed. Look at what's happening in college. That's going to translate to the NFL.
But the question is, what kind of quarterback, from what you've seen from college, because that's all we can go off of, what kind of quarterback is Sam Howell?
Well, see, here's the thing. The profile of a NFL quarterback has changed. We can't get away from that. It has changed.
Right.
The profile of a linebacker has changed. The profile of your offensive line has changed. So when we compare these quarterbacks to your Aaron Rodgers or even your Tom Brady's, those guys are now looking like dinosaurs in the way they play.
Well,
So
Aaron Rodgers could always run also, though. Like,
But
he
he's
could throw the ball a
97
million
years
yards
old right now.
Yeah, but of course we're not basing it off of that. We know
what
he's about to
what
pace
I'm
himself
saying is
out.
this season Aaron Rodgers, and I am all for Aaron Rodgers,
loves
but
Aaron
he's
Rodgers.
looking like a dinosaur. He's not looking the same. And in the way that the NFL is changing throughout the years and progressing, once you have an evolution, every position has to evolve. So I do feel, because when you look at our quarterbacks, that when we started out the season, our number one and our number two, we had Carson Wentz, strong arm, tall guy, but he doesn't move that much. He's not that mobile. But then when you have Taylor, he's shorter, he's mobile, he's very intelligent in that position. But then we have Sam. I had the privilege of watching Sam in OTAs and in training camp and things like that. And I felt like he is a good combination of the two. He looks like he can be, depending on how they develop him in that position.
And that's all. That's what I was asking, Lady A.
Yeah, he could be a good combination of the two. So he could be our future. So I'm hoping that they develop him properly and we'll be able to use him.
Nope. I'll tell you what, Lady A, don't do that. Just draft another quarterback. Spend high capital on him, because that's what you do. And
we got to draft one anyway. Okay, because Carson's contract.
Don't know.
Why not? Carson's contract is done. He is done. We're not keeping him for those 20-something million.
Okay, let me ask you this. What
Let's
is
draft the next two quarterbacks in the league. Let's draft next two.
Right.
Can I ask you a question?
Oh Lord.
What does Taylor Heineke's contract situation look like?
He's going to be a free agent next year as well. So we'll have Sam Howell at the end of the year. Carson will be gone off the books, and Taylor will be a free agent. So don't draft a quarterback again.
Nope.
Sounds like
because you're gonna do this. You're gonna do this. If this team makes the playoffs with Heineke, they will resign Heineke.
Hold on. Let's keep.
I was just about to say, why wouldn't you resign Heineke?
It is what it is.
Great backup.
If they make the playoffs with Heineke, they will resign Heineke.
Hey,
Sam Howell, what you don't know. You don't know what you have in Sam Howell. You can't just say I'm going to draft another quarterback and you haven't seen the backup quarterback in live action.
Right. Now
you have not seen him in live action. Who cares what he's doing in practice against the defense? What is he seeing in live action when they're scheming for Sam Howell?
Right. But Lou, did you get to see Sam? I mean, I know what I saw.
In the preseason, man, he showed a lot of promise. I mean, I think that eventually you're going to have to give this boy some run. I mean, you drafted him. I mean, You're going to have to give the boys some run. But now is not the time. You've won 7 of your last 8 games or whatever. I mean, you're winning games. I mean, all this stuff is just, I mean, honestly, it's just talk right now. I'm in the moment. You are winning football games, right?
Yes.
And you are winning football games. The quarterback is not crashing the car. He's maneuvering it at a very manageable pace. And the real pieces of what this team is going to be with Carson Wentz behind the center or Taylor Heineke, the real pieces are what's showing up on defense. And now, you knew that the strength of this team was going to be its wide receiver core. And that has, they have rarely been all together, right? The tight end and the 2 wide receivers, right? And now I'm telling you, one of the most important pieces that this team has picked up has been Brian Robinson, because again, he has established the run, and you can't just sit back and just wait for them to throw darts to Terry McLaurin.
Right.
So I think that
except in Houston.
I've seen it twice with Joe Gibbs. One when Sean Taylor was there, and then once right after Sean died, where this team just goes on a run, right? And this unbelievable run. I always knew that the division was going to come back to the Commanders at some point. The Giants, they had a new coach and people were just figuring it out. People are starting to understand what Dabo is doing, right? Dallas never really they always boo-boo on themselves at some point. Dallas always does. They always boo-boo on themselves at some point, right? And so the Eagles are the only thing that, they have too much of a lead in the division for anything to matter at this point as far as Washington catching them. But I do think that in that whole NFC East, if the Washington Commanders can win these 2 games against the Giants, which is a tall order, you got right after Christmas, you have to go out to the West Coast and take down the San Francisco 49ers, which I don't give them much shot in that one. But you got Cleveland and you have Dallas at home when they are retiring Sonny Jurgensen's number, and I think that's going to mean a lot. That's going to mean a lot. So 3 games in December, meaningful football in the last month of the year is all you could ever ask for any football fan throughout this NFL. And this team has it. So to me, talking about what this team needs to do afterwards for the November 29th First String podcast, I'm talking about Taylor Heineke, bro.
Well, no, sir, Pig. We gonna get to this one before we move on to anything.
Well, I gotta run. So,
hold on, Lou.
Yeah.
One more thing before you go.
Yeah.
Pro Bowl voting. Fans, our guys are not getting the recognition that they need. We got to get on that. Who from this team would you say deserves to be in this year's Pro Bowl?
Oh, for me, there's a number of them. Tress Way needs to be in there.
Yes.
That guy has flipped the field so many times that, it goes without saying that without Tress Way, I don't know if they would have won some of these games, because field position does really matter in the NFL.
It does.
I definitely think Jonathan Allen needs to be going to the Pro Bowl.
Yes.
I honestly don't know how you discount what Terry McLaurin has meant to, as far as being one of the top wide receivers.
He's sitting at number 7 right now in Pro Bowl.
In the NFC. So, but again, to me, the Pro Bowl is trash. I think the last time the Pro Bowl meant something is when Sean blew up that punter, Brian Mormon. I mean, when it meant something. Now it's like flag football. So I don't. But if we're looking at Pro Bowl people who are deserving to go to whatever this thing is, those are the 3 that I see.
Deron Payne.
Yeah, Deron Payne is playing great too. Yep. But those are the maybe 3 or 4 that I see. I don't think there's anybody else in there that's actually worthy of the Pro. In my eyes, I could be wrong, but I don't. Tress Way for sure, Jonathan Allen for sure, Terry McLaurin for sure, and probably Deron Payne.
And Deron Payne. All right, thank you. But last question, last thing for you. And I know you got to run, and I want to thank you for your time again. The Sean Taylor Memorial, right? Lady A sent us pictures, and I'm going to get to that in a second, but your thoughts, please.
Well, I was just I'm kind of torn because, apparently they had the family's blessing on this thing, so the family had something to do with it. I just feel that they didn't. To me, I live in the Washington, D.C. area, so the Kennedy Center is really big around here in the Washington, D.C. area. And when you go into the Kennedy Center, you have a big, huge bust of John Kennedy's head, right? I don't know if you really needed a whole body thing because it's not him, right? And the wiring thing, I don't know if I really that wouldn't be me. I just think that after the way the preparation or the way the rollout happened for the retiring of his number, you had a year, right? You had a year. I mean, a lot of these Hall of Fame things, they announce who's going to go into the Hall of Fame at the right before the Super Bowl, right before the Super Bowl, and then the Hall of Fame induction is until August, or so that's 6 months, right? You had a year from when all that stuff happened to put something together, and I just when that curtain came down, I was like, I didn't know what to think because I'm like, that's not it was just confusing to me. And again, I'm torn because the family had some buy-in on this. So I don't know if this was Jackie or Pedro or somebody saying they're cool with it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't, to me, I just think that look, if Philadelphia can do a statue of Nick Foles and Doug Peterson saying Philly, Philly,
Yeah.
right? And Baltimore can do whatever for Ray Lewis. I just think that Sean, the whole thing, if Sean's going to be memorialized, that you could have done a lot with the hitting that he did, or I one iconic shot that I have is him with his hand in the air. I mean, there's so many iconic pictures that I know of Sean that I just looking at that with a Nike top and a Reebok bottom and Adidas shoes that he didn't even wear because Adidas, it looked like soccer shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't feel that was him.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they did honor him, and I guess you got to go with that. But when I look at it, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know I don't know really what to think of that.
Well, he did wear soccer cleats. But other than that, that's the only.
I mean, if anything, he was famous for taking on the NFL's fines and putting striping on his helmet, right?
Yeah.
On the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the candy cane striping on the thing. If anything, you could have at least done that. But then again, there's so many things that you could have done. You have to respect the family, that if what they said is true and the family actually signed off on all this stuff, then you got to let it be. You really got to let it be. I mean, it's their Sean Taylor, right? It's not ours. It's theirs. I mean, he did play for us, but that's their memory of him. So at first I was, in a certain way about it because what happened last year, and I just wanted it to be, that's one number and one player that you just can't get wrong because he meant so much to so many people, right?
Right.
And 15 years is a big deal. It's a big deal. And I'm going to post some stuff on the Holder Hangout. Like I interviewed Jackie, and I interviewed some people. It's a big deal. And if so many people are walking away underwhelmed by the reveal, then I think that shows where we thought it should have gone. But this franchise has done a lot of things in the last
Lou,
couple of
I know
years.
you got to go.
In your head. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Lou, I know you got to go. I guess I'm having some internet problems over here, but I wanted to tell you, this guy right here, John Graves.
Oh.
Last time you were here, he said, "How dare you not show my comment when my my frat brother's on?" So I wanted to let you know.
All right.
One of your frat brothers. Yeah, one of your frat brothers is in the house right here. So, John, I did that, so I don't have to get a call.
Tell him he's going to like the interview with Ryan Clark, our other frat brother. Man, he put down some good stuff about Sean, about Mike Tomlin, and about famous athletes that pledged Kappa Alpha Psi. So we have Arthur Ashe, We have Will Chamberlain.
Mm-hmm.
We have Bill Russell.
Yep.
We have Mike Tomlin. We have a bunch of athletes that pledged our fraternity. So me and Colin Kaepernick. We have so many people from our fraternity that are iconic figures in sports that we started to rate them where we thought that they were. So it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
So once you open this box, it's really hard to.
I see it.
So,
how much of the offense struggles for identity is related to the fact that Ron is developing Scott as an OC? Oh, okay. Well, I think it's a lot. I mean, he's riding this guy, Scott Turner. And the thing is, I've been crossing my fingers because for the last couple of games, he hasn't made me throw up in my mouth. Right. But there's been some games where I'm just like, I don't get it. And I just hope that he manages the game and the quarterback that he now has. I just hope he's able to manage him through the month of December.
Yeah.
I manage him from the month of December. So I think that Scott Turner is still somebody I look at every single game, but the light has not been as bright on him because they have been winning some games.
Right.
And to run Brian Robinson the way he did, Now, if they would have gone out and just be honest, because Cedric brought this up, right? And they could have lost that game, and they probably should have lost that game, right? Atlanta was gashing them, right? And they should have won that game if they didn't have a brain fart at the end, right?
Yeah.
But there's other games that Washington did not win, like the Tennessee game and some others. So football's a very, very fluid situation here. And the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, nobody cares how you got those 7 wins. You have them.
Nope.
Right.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Nobody, but
Lou,
they're not
Lou,
done.
we thank you.
Yeah.
Pick. I think Pick had some
Okay, here we go.
connectivity issues.
Yeah. It's like he got a delay over there.
I'm having something going on
It's
right
been a
now.
pleasure, guys. I appreciate it. Ant, man, it's been a pleasure, brother.
Hey,
Lady
call
A,
me
it's been
now.
a pleasure. Said it's been a pleasure.
Indeed.
Call me now.
Huh?
Call me. Remember? Call me now.
Oh, and we can't hear you.
Yeah,
And
I can't hear
He
you.
said he's telling you to call him. He's telling you to call him.
Oh.
Okay.
But thank you, Lou. Make sure y'all check out Lou and the Holder Hangout. It's on YouTube. It's on Twitter. Follow Lou at Holder Sports on Twitter. And a lot of good things that happen on First String Podcast is because of Lou. So thank you for all your mentors. Hey, I'm gonna give y'all some quick insight real fast. I made Lou Holder cry on Thanksgiving. That's all I'm gonna say. He called me. He called me and said, "Stop."
Because I'm thankful. Again, Cedric, Lady A, and Toothpick. When you have been in the game as long as I have, it's not just the journey; it's the people that you meet along the way, right? Because everybody's doing sports now. Everybody's doing something. But it's the precious relationships with the people that you meet along the way that makes your career and makes your life worthwhile, right? At the end of the day, we're all talking sports, but you could be talking sports with people that you just absolutely hate, right? But when you're there and the people respect you and they respect the body of work that you've done and you're laughing and you're having fun. And I mean, obviously it's great if the team was winning, but I just feel that this group, even if the team wasn't winning, there's just enough energy there. So I was thankful when I look at my life, and I've lost friends along the way and people that are just not here with me anymore. Anytime I get a chance to get on there and either change a life or tell a story, I got into sports to tell stories. I got into sports to tell stories. And for people to recognize my gift, and for people to still give me a platform to use my gift, it's a blessing. So, Toothpick said something to me on Thanksgiving that, it made me emotional. I'm gonna be honest, I cried. Because at the end of the day, that's somebody who respects my work, and at the end of the day, that's what means the most to me. And if it doesn't mean something to you, then you're not even really into it for the right reasons.
Right.
Right.
So that's where I'm coming from, man. I'm organic. I'm real. I'm flawed. We're all flawed. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's not just the journey, it's the people that you meet along the way.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, even Metaphor got serious right there. Metaphor said,
Right.
Well, we appreciate you, Lou, and all you giving to our sport. Thank you.
Mhm.
See,
All right.
everybody
All right,
gets
y'all.
excited when
Thank
Lou
you, Lou.
goes on.
We'll
Thank
see you
you
later.
so much.
You.
All right. Take care, man. All right.
All right, my brother.
All right. That was the one and only Lou Holder. And we're going to play a little switcheroo here for a second, okay? And boom. No, that didn't work out right.
Yeet.
Now it works right. There we go.
Yeet.
All right. Listen, I really appreciate each and every one of you guys for sticking with us so far. We are a little thrown off because we had Lou Holder on, and we want to thank Lou again. Make sure y'all check out his Holder Hangout, man. He has really good interviews there, and we really appreciate everything he does for us here at First String Podcast. Say it.
Well, thank you,
You know
ladies
what
and
time it
gentlemen.
is.
Welcome again. Welcome to the results of this past week's demolishing of the games that we saw, the beatdowns, the
Do we have
letdowns,
to?
the
Do we
scrubs
have
away.
to?
So, with that being said, let's
We
take a
don't really have.
gander at the week 12 results.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
As you can see,
Ooh.
Blink 11-5, Lady A 11-5. I'm gonna give you a fist bump of them, Lady A. That's nice.
Ooh, yeah, we good.
AntMoe 9-7, 2-pick 8-8. Travis, we'll need to get your game together and just get your game together.
Travis played the way y'all
Hey.
play.
No.
And we're gonna look at the overall leader. And Bob, look at that boy. They got a little leg room in there. Got a little leg. Whoa, Ant. Somebody ain't reaching this is you, Ant. She tapping you on the shoulder saying, turn around.
No.
I'm gonna take that spot.
Actually, no. But I feel you.
He
I'm
said
telling
no.
you. Hey.
I ain't that far
Hey,
behind.
hey,
Now
she
let's talk
pretty
about
close.
how she's 4 games clear to whoever the guy is beneath her.
Why we always bringing the attention this way? What you need to
Boy.
do is focus straight ahead and stop looking back before she
Man.
catch you.
Man.
Lady A, you got your fishing pole? Because you dropped the anchor on whoever. I don't even know. It is what it is.
Y'all
He's out
wrong.
Lady A.
Thank
Hey,
you.
listen.
My Wilson's hit.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk.
And
let's
usually
talk.
that's all that matters. When your Wilson hit, it feel different.
Wilson hits different, huh?
Hey, L.
I ain't want to say it like
L.
It feels different though.
L.
That's still a bit.
stop it.
Listen,
I feel.
let's get into this. Let's get into this. We got a Thursday night. This is a big game.
Yeah.
The reason this is a big game is because Buffalo, whether you guys know it or not, is 0-2 in the division.
Mhm.
They have not won a division game, but they are clearly sitting in second. No, they are in 5th place in the AFC. In the AFC. Yeah, they're in 5th place in the AFC because Miami has won 2 division games and lost 1. And Buffalo is 0-2. So here they are playing the New England Patriots, who they've lost to before. At New England, you gave Bill Belichick time to think since Thursday. Josh Allen should be feeling a lot better now with his elbow. And let's see what this thing does. But they will be without one Von Miller, who hurt himself. Was it It was Thanksgiving, right?
Yes.
Did you hurt yourself? Hurt yourself on Thanksgiving. In their Thanksgiving Day game. All these lines are brought to you by Bet Rivers. Make sure you guys download that Bet Rivers app or go to www.betrivers.com. You must be 21 years or older to play. I'm going to give you the lines real fast and make sure everything is still up to date, which it should be because I just put these in here while Lou was on. So we got Buffalo at -4 at -114 on their spread. Their money line is -210. -210 for their money line. New England Patriots at +4 at -107. And their money line is +107. Their money line is +170. Money line is +170. The over-under set at 44. 107 for the over, -114 for the under. So, Ant, would you like to go?
Hold on. One more thing.
No. What are you drinking?
One more thing. The weather.
Absolutely not.
The weather Thursday night, mostly clear with a low around 26. West wind from 10 to 15 miles an hour, becoming light after midnight. Wind gusts as high as 29 miles an hour. That's Thursday night.
That's summertime for Buffalo.
That's Thursday night in New England.
They're in New England, so summertime for Buffalo.
That's summertime for Buffalo.
Just so y'all know the weather.
Listen, the last time these two teams played, I was in Vegas. It was around the same time of the year, and there was like 40-mile-an-hour winds. I took a
snow
under,
as well.
The Pats. Yes, snow. Those 40 miles. Great day. Oh, we cashed a big old check that day. So, with that being said, Buffalo is 0-2 in the division. They will not drop. They will not be 0-3. I'm gonna lay the 4 with the Bills. Give me Buffalo -4.
Okay, so that's actually a good pick, but I do want to point out that the Bills are in the last 5 games 1-4 against the spread. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and choose Buffalo money line. I do feel like they're going to win this game.
Of course you are. So
if they're 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games, I'm a little afraid. And it's not like the Patriots are just complete trash. So what if they've been having
lines like +9.5.
Well, what if they win by
their last 4 have been like?
What if they win by
their last
1?
4 have been like double digits?
Yeah,
their
spread was 10 and in 2 straight games. However, that was when their second straight game at Ford Field, they were 10-point favorites and they didn't cover the spread. However, that's just 2 games. We're talking out of the last 5, they're 1-4. So
you're right.
I feel like Buffalo, I feel like they're going to win, but they could possibly win by just 1. So I'm going to take Buffalo money line for the sake of what we got going on. However, if you take Buffalo with the spread, that does make a lot of sense. I mean, it's only 4. So, but for me, I'll take the money line.
It's actually a smart play. It's actually a smart play. So, Ant.
The interesting thing is, or the irony is, Patriots blank Detroit earlier in the year, but the Patriots aren't what Detroit even is right now. I mean, they can't run the ball, and with those type of conditions, he's not going to go in there and do like what was the game that they played, and I don't think the dude I don't think Mac Jones threw the ball 5 times.
There was Patriots last year. That's the Buffalo and Patriots last year. That's the game we're talking about.
Yeah.
So in my mind, that team isn't even what it was last year. You got a run game, even if it's in your quarterback. I don't think he loses this game. I don't think there's a lot of points that the Patriots are going to be able to score either. So with that being said, I will take Buffalo with the points as well. I think they'll get the job done.
Yeah. Laying the 4. All right.
Metaphor.
Because that's because I do metaphor. You devilish, not me.
What I have noticed is that the Patriots play better at home. They have lost some. They have been more competitive playing at home. They've lost some, but they play a more competitive games at home. Like when they beat the Jets twice, and Jets has a pretty good defense. The loss of Von Miller is going to hurt Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
I went with New England last week and they let me down. They let me down. They stabbed me in the back. They let Kirk Cousins do me in. But that was on the road. That was not at home. Do I want to Wilson this?
Yes, you do.
You know what? I'm gonna go Buffalo money line as well.
Oh, okay.
and metaphor, I turned up the lights on the ring light just to make it a little more heavenly for you.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's almost one of them games where it could be a toss up.
Yeah.
Because the Patriots play better at home, the wind conditions, and Von Miller not playing. That Von Miller not playing is a big thing.
Yeah.
Take the Patriots.
But so, see, when it comes
it's a toss-up.
But you also have to remember for this line, because the Patriots at home, that's 3 points right there. Mm-hmm. So, you know, they're looking at it a little different.
Right.
The Patriots are having a hard time scoring right now.
They are.
Matt Jones or his twin brother Bailey Zappi. You know, they're just having a tough time scoring.
Okay.
All right. Now, hey, it's up to y'all. Do y'all want to go around the NFL real fast, or do y'all want to dive into NCAA? Let's go around the NFL. Go ahead. Well, go ahead. What was you about to say, Ant?
Can we actually get to the Sean Taylor stuff? Can we get that out of the way real quick?
Yes, because I have a lot.
I gotta get that off.
I have a lot
because I'm not.
He didn't go back to that for. He said enough about it. It was garbage.
Nope. We didn't get our takes in there. We didn't get our takes.
Hold on.
Be over here sleep, dude.
Hold on. Now you just calm yourself. See, this is what happens when you get to the top of the leaderboard. You just start acting all divish. You start turning to a real diva. No, that's why I said no. I ain't hating on it. I said he started acting real diva.
He like that's
well, then since Seth feels so strongly, let second place go ahead and get a little.
I can't touch nobody. Who over there? I can't touch nobody. Who over there?
You right. You did. You got a little. Your feet grew about 2 inches. That's for sure. But no.
Said that's beneath him, so he good.
Say this.
No, I'm just gonna go.
The reason that I believe a family wouldn't give much kickback in a situation like this is because they are just appreciative of the fact that you are choosing to honor their family member, their ex, whatever. They're not gonna. And then who's gonna say, as somebody who you're coming to the family asking for approval, to say, well, no, we think you should do a statue, or we feel like it should be something. Nobody's gonna do that. So most of the time, and I'm not mad at what Lou said about it, but I just think for a family, what would you do? You're gonna just say, you know what, we appreciate the gesture, thank you. It's like somebody giving you some other stuff. I don't know. It's like somebody giving you like candy or something. It's like, oh, okay, appreciate it. You might not even eat candy, but you're gonna take it. And like I said, it's NFL Pro Shop here. Like that's what you're gonna do a majority of the time. Man, that's not the way you honor. And this is strictly from a fan and somebody who appreciate the way he played the game. You know, that's not the way you honor somebody like that and what he meant to the franchise. Like, you can at least give him something that's not gonna sit in the front that somebody can say they can buy the whole outfit. That just didn't sit well with me.
Lady A.
You really want me to go in? Because, you know, I got a lot to say.
Do you? So
I was there at the unveiling. They put it out there. They hyped it up. It is a memorial. It's a statue. That's what they said specifically. They had former players. They had family members. I understand that the family signed off on it, but you have to think about it like this. And I do agree with what you said as well. But what was presented to the family? What was presented to the family? So when you give me 3 different options, right? And I choose the best out of the 3, that doesn't mean that the best out of the 3 is the best thing that you could do. It's just the best out of what you presented to me. The crowd was hyped. You know, like I said, former players were there. The family was there. Jason Wright began to talk. and he said something before they moved the covering. And I felt like it was an excuse before he unveiled it. He knew. He said, "This will go with us wherever we go. It's a mobile memorial." And I was like, "Wait, what? A statue? I mean, it's going to be difficult for you to move a statue, but that I'm thinking bronze statue. Everyone was thinking bronze statue. So when they removed it, immediately the entire crowd changed. We were chanting 21, 21 before they removed it. When they removed it, everybody was looking like, are you kidding? The entire crowd. Now, what we saw, the Redskin helmet. Okay. We saw a jersey. I believe the jersey was Nike. We saw Reebok pants and we saw Adidas cleats on a wire mannequin. It did look like it was something that they could have put in the team store, but it did not look like a statue. Did not look like a memorial. For people a lot of people were fussing about the soccer cleats. Sean did wear soccer cleats. His daughter even spoke on it. She said that was her favorite part because that was the only thing that they got right. There are some people I've actually made sure that I've scoured all of social media to see what the fans' reactions are. Some people have legitimate issues. Some people do not. If you're mad about the soccer cleats, you were not a Sean Taylor fan. Not for real. Because that's what he wore. Adidas, maybe not the brand, but soccer cleats, yes.
He wore tape. He wore tape, so you didn't know if it was Nike or Adidas. He wore tape.
Right. So he wore, and then yes, I agree. You should have the tape on the helmet, because that's what he did. There were some fans that were even angry about the fact that it was a Redskin helmet. Regardless of what the team's current situation is, Sean Taylor was a Redskin.
True. You
cannot honor him and not have Redskin on the helmet. He was not a commander. He was a Redskin.
Never a football team member either.
Right. So you can't get around that. So, I mean, I felt like it was a disgrace. When you look back at the things that they have, quote unquote, done, they allowed the opposing team's family to stand on his number when they decided that they wanted to honor him before. They didn't block off the number when they had it painted on the field. They had the family, they retired his jersey. No one spoke. No one did anything. It was just some weird, awkward situation during halftime and family standing there, and then they just walk off. It was no words spoken. No, that's not honoring someone. When they named that section right there off of, for those who are in the DMV area, they named part of a street. It was Bright Seat Road. It ran right into the stadium. They named that after him. They had porta potties behind the family when they took pictures. That this is just over and over again. You're saying that you're doing something good, but you're being disrespectful all at the same time. A bust would have been fine. A bronze bust would have been fine. That would have been nice. This was not. At first, I was told that this was actually his uniform. It's not. It wasn't. If it was actually his uniform, I could kind of understand. But the wire mannequin, no. You see better mannequins at the store. You see better mannequins. So I wasn't satisfied. They did have some stuff at the base of this memorial, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't satisfied. And I know that, like what Lou said, the family signed off of it. That's their person. But Sean did also mean a lot to the team. He's our person too, on a different level, obviously, but he's our person too. So the fans feeling this way, that was an epic fail. Whole situation.
Let me get in here real fast. All right. This is how I feel. My home is and will forever be Washington, D.C. And Washington, D.C. is not short on one thing. Talented people, right? It's a ton of talented people in Washington, D.C., in Maryland, in Virginia. And I guarantee you, if you had said open competition, who could come up with the best way to memorialize Sean Taylor, you would have received a million ideas. And you choose an artist and you present that to the family, like 3 different ideas, and you would have came up with something better. This to me looks like something a 4th grader did. And I'm not downing any 4th graders, but with a limited budget, a 4th grader could have done this. That's why I was disappointed. That's why I was embarrassed for the family. My thing is right now, please leave Sean Taylor's family alone. We tried 3 times and 3 times we failed. I don't know who signs off on these things. And if you had a year to do this, ask the fans, man. I'm pretty sure somebody would have painted something on the wall for free.
Well, they did have a painting. They did have something on the wall. The
family would have been gracious for that. But to put a pair of shoulder pads, a jersey, some pants and cleats together, that sounds like some last minute things to me. Leave Sean alone. That's all I have to say. Please leave him alone. Mm-hmm. That's all I have to say.
And to metaphor, he asked was about the new merch. That is actually the Sean Taylor Legacy project. His daughter designed that,
which is outstanding.
Yeah, that's actually good. It's they have a lot of players who modeled the stuff.
Mitchell and Ness. That was done classy.
Yeah,
that line was presented well, right? I mean, if you guys go to the pro shop, it's on
sold
there.
Out. It's sold out right now, but it's still there. You can see it.
You can still see it. It's done really well. And I think some of those proceeds go to his daughter or something like that. It's something that she is actually hands-on with. But leave Sean alone. I'm sorry, say it. I didn't ask you if you had anything on this, man. Do you have anything on this?
I'm good.
Say it is good. All right. Now, let's run around the league real fast because let's get this done. All right. If the playoffs started right now, we're going to go to the AFC side real fast, okay? And I want y'all to tell me if they're in or out and who you think should be in their place. I'm going to start from 7, and I'm going to go up to number 1. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in the 7th spot is the New York Jets. At 6, the Cincinnati Bengals. Buffalo's at 5. Baltimore is at 4. The Tennessee Titans at 3. Miami Dolphins at 2. And KC's at 1. All right, just on the outside looking in, New England, the Los Angeles Chargers, and the Indianapolis Colts at 4 and 7. New England and the Chargers are 6 and 5. Everyone else in the AFC is either 4 and 7 or below. Mm-hmm. So starting with New York, who is out going up from 7 to 1 in the AFC? Let's start with Ant because it starts with an A.
Make it quick. I think the Jets are out. Everybody else is in. I think this is the easiest conference to pick. I think that's simple.
All right. Who do you think gets in if the Jets are out?
Hold on. You know what? I just thought about that. I keep forgetting. No. I'm tripping. It's right the way it is. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It's right the way it is. I was thinking 6 teams only.
Yeah.
It's on the outside looking in, but I'm tripping. It's 7. It's right the way it is.
It's right the way it is.
I'm sorry.
Right.
So it's right just the way it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies before gentlemen. So Lady A.
So in reference to what we see now, I think that the AFC is pretty easy. They're pretty much locked in. You have the people who are good, and then you have the people who are really bad. It's not a lot of in between. I do feel like the Jets, depending on the last few games, they're shaky. So they do have the ability to be knocked out, but technically, I don't really see that. The only people that could get them out of there would be the Chargers, in my opinion. I don't feel like that would be the Chargers would take their spot, but I think that it is good the way that it is. It may be some shuffling around, but that's about it. I think those same 7 teams are good.
What? Metaphor and Aunt Lady A all agree. They said all should be in. Say it. Age before beauty.
Actually, New England has 2 wins over the Jets. So actually, the Jets will be out, and New England will be in if they're in the top.
Mm.
Because, like I said, New England beat just twice.
Yep.
So that'll rotate almost the whole thing right there within that division. So the Jets, who can't decide on the quarterback, are going to stumble again and try to go back the other way. But it's going to be too late because the Patriots are going to come on late and get that last spot. So I said the Jets are out, New England's in.
Jets are out, New England's in. This is what I know. Cincinnati's not hanging in that 6th spot. Cincinnati's going to climb. Right? I think Cincinnati's going to climb. I think Baltimore's going to come down. I think Baltimore will make the playoffs. But I think as far as Baltimore being in that 4th spot, I think that's going to be Cincinnati. And then John, why are you texting me?
So you think the top 3 are going to stay the same? Because I think 3 is
Miami's definitely going to win that division. They're 1 game behind Kansas City right now, and I don't even know if they play each other or not. I think they do play each other here in a little bit. I think they do play each other, but I just like Cincinnati to win the the AFC North, that North division. I think the Jets will make it. I think 3 teams from the AFC. The East? The AFC East are going to make that, or are going to make it as well. Okay. And I just can't decide if it's Buffalo. I'm sorry, Buffalo is going to be in.
Right.
The Jets are going to be in. I don't know if it's New England or the Jets. One of them is going to be that 3rd team, though. One of them is going to be that 3rd team. I definitely believe Miami's in, which was a great futures bet by myself. So, let's flip it over to the NFC side of this thing, okay? The NFC side of this thing. And as of right now, the whole NFC East is in the playoffs, which is confusing to me because I actually want to see this happen, which means I need to root for the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the New York Giants, which throws off my balance. I mean, like, I sleep standing up now because I'm doing this. I really want. I mean, I am. I drink food and I eat water. That's how thrown off I am right now. All right, so let's go 7 all the way up to 1. We got the Washington Commanders, the New York Giants, the Dallas Cowboys, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the San Francisco 49ers, the Minnesota Vikings at 2, and the Philadelphia Eagles. So we're going to do this a different way. Ladies first. Lady A.
So I'm rooting for the NFC East, all of the NFC East to make it into the playoffs. And then, outside of that, 49ers, Vikings, and Bucks. That's pretty much it. That's what I'm going for. And you're right. It feels strange to root for. I'm hoping that we sweep the Giants, though, but that doesn't necessarily pull them out of the playoffs.
Right. So we just got to hope that Seattle keeps losing. And, yeah. Okay. So, I forgot to give you this. On the outside looking in, you got the Seattle Seahawks at 6-5, right. Atlanta Falcons at 5-7, and Detroit is 4-7. But Minnesota's so far ahead right now, and nobody else from that division is even getting into the playoffs because Minnesota's just ran away with that thing, and they're undefeated in the division as of right now. Yeah. All right, so Ant, you're the young guy between me, you, and Say It, so you're up next.
So I hate to break it to you, Washington ain't making the playoffs, guys. Seattle's gonna take that final spot. They got one tough game, I think, against Kansas City. But other than that, they got the run game and the somewhat consistency of quarterback with Geno to make it happen. It's too tough to go into the NFC East and run the table like what it would probably take to solidify that final spot. I don't think the Giants are a great team. But I still don't fully know what they are. They're coached very well. And I think at the end of the day, they're still coached better than Washington. If we're being honest here, Daboll has kept these guys relevant all year. So that's the way I see that. I hope that the Philadelphia Eagles continue to take care of business because they've been cutting it short these last couple of weeks, and I got a feeling Sid gonna eat his words. And if they happen to stroll into Dallas, just don't bring me on the show. Don't bring me on the show that week because it's gonna be a lot to say. It's gonna be a lot to say.
First off, Ant, listen.
That's all I gotta say.
Ant,
For Lou, hold on. And for Lou to say,
oh, look, I knew he was gonna be mad about
find
that.
a way. Hold on. I don't have faith in much about Dak Prescott. Let me say that. Let me be clear here. To beat the NFC East, or to beat the Washington Commanders, or to beat the Giants, and until this resurgence of Philly to beat, nobody's scared of these guys. Dak Prescott, if he can't do nothing else, he can beat the division. So this whole boo-boo themselves.
Did y'all play? Y'all played Philly twice already, right?
No,
we played them in 3 games.
Y'all only played them once. Okay, y'all play them again.
So, right. And I think you heard him wrong when he said you guys find a way to boo-boo on yourselves. It's literally, if you fail, it's because you did it yourselves, not because you're not good. It's because you've done it yourselves. We all have experienced that with our teams. It's like we've beat ourselves. That's why we lost the game. We've all seen these things. So I agree with him.
Green Bay. Look at Green Bay.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, but the Cowboys, like Stephen A. always says, that the Cowboys give you everything that you need until the month of December. And then they disappoint you.
We will see.
Right. Listen, and for the last couple of weeks, you've been saying that you guys are going to beat Philly, right? You guys have been saying that.
5-1.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, Ant. If you guys keep rolling with the game plan you guys have right now, you will beat Philly.
Yeah, you can. Split.
If y'all can beat them, we can beat them. I'm just gonna make it that simple.
Come on, man. Can you beat
Philly? No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Washington can beat them, for sure we can
but
beat
them.
Just be quiet y'all didn't. And just take these flowers.
That's not pride. I'm just saying.
Listen, this is why Cowboy fans. This is exactly why Cowboys fans wind up shooting their TV.
I think you're mistaking what I'm saying. I'm not saying privately like y'all suck so bad. I'm saying Lady A was one of the main people who was like, this is the NFC East. It's a division game. You can't trust that just because Philly was undefeated at the time or whatever, that they were just going to run all over you guys. Right. That's the vein that I'm speaking in. Not that they're just, you guys are so bad and y'all beat them. I'm saying if y'all had a possibility of doing it and we were at least there for a little bit before they finally scored again to pull off, then I think we have a chance of doing that for sure.
And what Metaphor said. We're not just on a winning streak. We are one of the hottest team in the league.
Oh, no, you're not, bro.
How many games have y'all won, Ant? What's y'all last 7?
Knock it off, bro.
What's your last 7, Ant? How many games?
We lost. What were we? What were we when we played Philly?
Never mind. I got it right here.
I don't know.
Y'all are on a 2-game winning streak. I got it for you right there.
That's why I wish that the Bears would have just ran the ball and freaking Atlanta would have just ran the ball.
Can wish.
Because then we wouldn't even have to have this conversation.
You can wish in one hand,
not a win.
And you can boo-boo in the other one. See which one fills up faster. Listen.
It's like y'all did. It's all of that commotion that y'all make about this team, and y'all still should have lost.
How many games y'all won in a row?
We won 3 in a row.
Y'all last 7? Y'all 7 out of 8?
We 6-1 in our last 7.
Yeah, 7 out of 8.
6-1
Here's the thing, and you do have to admit that the team is hot right now. They're on a winning streak. They're hot. They're getting their groove.
And the team plays together. You admitted that yourself. They play for each other, which is what you actually need. So let me go to this right fast. What I was trying to say is this. Seattle is a really, really good team. And I said it when we picked the Raiders Seattle game. I said the Raiders forgot they have one of the best running backs in the league in the backfield and won't give him the ball. And what did they do? They turned around and gave him the ball and they beat Seattle. Seattle still has to play San Fran again, right? Seattle has a running game right now that will help us out. San Fran has a running game that will help us out when it comes to fending off Seattle because we don't play them. But other NFC East teams do, and that'll help us as well. So that's why we will absolutely run away from Seattle. And my hope is that the Giants can just hold on to that number 7 spot because we're coming up. We're coming up from 7 in our final game of the season with the Cowboys. Maybe it could mean the division because the division still has to play each other. Maybe that does mean the division. Maybe it's for something.
What the heck?
Really? And
what division? What division?
He's talking about NFC East.
That by the time the end of the season comes, that it could be possibly.
All right, say it. Go ahead, man.
Okay, but here's the thing that he forgets. We are trying to figure out if we're going to continue to be. So, like, let's say we split Dallas. If we're 1-1 with Dallas, and we're gonna, and even if we split the Giants, which I hope we sweep them, that's going to solidify our spot.
The Cowboys have swept the Giants. The Eagles are going to sweep the Giants. And if the Cowboys split and the Commanders split, the division's there for the grabbing. Yeah. And it's not just between the Cowboys and the Eagles. It's between 3 different teams, sir.
In order to
I'm ready for whenever y'all want to go on to the next subject. I mean, so now you're gonna tell me that the Eagles are gonna lose that many games to make y'all relevant to have a chance at the division?
Only thing we need is for y'all to beat them. Only thing we need is for y'all to beat them.
Whole division. What
have you looked at the division records, Ant?
And he's not saying that we're gonna win the division.
No, I'm saying that
I think that's what he thought you were.
The Eagles are 2-1. The Eagles are 2-1 in the division. The Cowboys are 3-1 in the division. The Commanders are 1-2 in the division. We split with the Eagles already. We have a loss to you guys.
Those are our 2 losses. You guys,
and we still play with the Giants, and we will catch up to you guys in the division.
How? Where are we gonna? We also got to lose these other games too. You know that, right?
He's talking about just division record. That's all.
The division is no one is one.
I'm talking about getting to the playoffs. I really don't care where everyone else is positioned. I only care what my team is positioned.
Hey,
and if my team has a shot at it, I know
the sure way to get into the playoffs is to win the division. Philly hasn't secured anything yet, and the Giants haven't secured anything yet. Say it. Go ahead.
As you look at this 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seattle's in the 7th spot, which actually they're not in the 7th spot. Tampa Bay actually bumps them down because Tampa Bay is winning the division.
Washington is in the 7th spot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, they're not. You got Philly, Minnesota, Dallas, San Francisco, Giants, Washington, Seattle, Tampa Bay.
No,
that's going by records. That's going by records. If you look at
what are you talking about?
I'm telling you I'm looking at going by records. The records are right now.
You talking about the playoffs?
I'm just looking at the records. I'm looking at the records right now. I got it listed by records, not by who's in what division. I'm showing the records who they have. If you go by the records, San Francisco is ahead in their division. They're in the same division as Seattle, right?
Right.
So that bumps Seattle down. Okay, Tampa Bay is winning the division. That's going to put them in the top 4. That's going to knock Seattle down. So Seattle actually is not in the playoff position right now because Tampa is. Right. That's why you the one time I said, wait, that's what I just said.
Yeah, Seattle is on the outside.
I just repeated what I said, Pig. What you talking about? Come on, player.
Seattle was in the 7th position, Sam.
They're right now. They're in the 7th position because of their record. Because of their record, the person who's in first place in the division is who? San Francisco. Because of their position and not of their record is 6-5. Right. Their record knocks them down. You see what I'm saying?
Well, he's looking at the playoff position.
I know he's looking at, if you look at the playoff position, their record knocks them down because the top 4 teams are division winners.
Yeah,
the top 4 teams are the division.
The top 4 division winners. You listen to me, right? That'll be Philadelphia right now. Philadelphia, San Francisco,
Vikings,
Minnesota, and Tampa Bay.
Right.
Okay.
And then after that, it comes the 3 best records.
So then the 3 best records that puts Seattle at number 7, which is what I just said.
That does not put Seattle at number 7.
Yes, it
does.
6
and 5.
It puts Seattle at 7.
They're
Washington has a better record than Seattle.
Yeah, we do. But no, he's saying okay. So first is the first 4, right?
Okay.
And then
the first 4.
Dallas is 5.
Philadelphia is 1.
Minnesota's 2.
Minnesota's 2. San Francisco is 3. Tampa is 4.
The
and
division
5 is
winners.
Dallas.
Okay. Wait right there. That means Dallas is 5.
Right.
Okay. The Giants is 6.
Yes.
Washington is actually it pushes Washington down
7.
to 7, and then Seattle is out because Tampa is above them.
Yeah,
right.
they're 8.
That's all. Okay, I mean, actually, they're 8. All I said was that Tampa's is taking Seattle's spot because they're the division winner. That's all I was talking about.
Okay.
That's all I said. According to the record, they're out. According to the record, Seattle be out, which is what I said, Pick. You're killing me over here.
He thought you were saying Washington was in the 8th. It was in the
you
8th.
said Seattle is in the 7th.
I was saying Seattle. I was saying Seattle. If you just count straight down, Seattle be out of it because Tampa is a division winner at this point, which will knock Seattle down 1 out of the playoffs.
Okay,
that's all I was saying. Friend.
Okay, because that was
you looking way too far to the left.
You had me confused for a minute.
Way too far to the left. So Seattle has to win games to jump up to knock Washington out. They're 1 game behind Washington.
And since we don't play Seattle, it's all technical.
It's going to be all technical about NFC wins at that point.
Yeah.
Who has the most NFC wins is who's going to take what division.
Yeah.
So if you look at conference wins, they're 4-4 and y'all are 4-4 at this point right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I was saying.
Here's what Seattle has to here's what Seattle has right here left on their schedule. Seattle has, and we're gonna get out of this real fast. Metaphor says it contradicted himself.
See, and Seattle has to play 49ers again.
Yeah. So they have the Rams. They have the Rams, the Carolina Panthers, the San Francisco 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs, the New York Jets, and then they end with the Rams.
Again.
Right?
Thank you, Rudy.
That's their okay, say it was not saying that. Okay, I got you.
If it was just by record.
If you're going just by record, that's what I was talking about.
The Bucks pushed them down.
Currently, what the record is. Currently.
Yeah, the Bucks pushed them down because the Bucks are leading the NFC South.
The Seattle has a tougher road. Actually, they don't have a tougher road. They probably have an easier road. They got the Rams, they got Carolina, and then they got San Francisco, Kansas City, but the Jets are struggling. And then they got the Rams again.
And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you because I mean, look at our division and how our division operates. I would not be surprised if they split with the Rams.
I wouldn't be surprised either because they're going to get the backup in week 13, but then they'll get a starter back in week 18.
But if they split with the Rams, they're not gonna.
Yeah, if they split with the Rams, that'll be tough for them.
Yeah,
but they're gonna have to beat Carolina and AFC, NFC. Because I don't think they'll beat San Francisco. That's next Thursday. That's Thursday.
But you know what, Rudy? You know what? Delusional. Stuff is on record. Is let these games play out. We don't gotta do no talking.
Mm-hmm.
See what's gonna happen.
Here's the Giants.
Vote all you want to.
Here's the Giants' remaining schedule: the Commanders, the Eagles, the Commanders, Minnesota, Indianapolis, Philadelphia again, the New England, and they end the season with Philadelphia.
Yeah,
they got a tougher schedule. They got a tough schedule.
They're gonna have some problems.
Giants got a gauntlet.
I feel
Yeah.
like
So
the
they
Giants are
so
going to fall to.
I think the Giants aren't
7.
going to make it. Yeah, I think the Giants aren't going to make it.
Yeah,
They got a tough schedule.
they do. Because they
Hey,
play
get
us
them
twice
wins when you
and the
can.
Eagles twice now.
But you know what? It actually seems like they may play other teams better. So it's like, who knew that? I missed some games they won. I was like, there's no way they should win this game, but they find a way. That just goes to show how difficult the division actually is, though.
Right. Because honestly, I can see them losing every single game for the rest of the season. I could see them losing all of them.
That's why I want to see the whole division get in the playoffs. I want to see our whole division get in the playoffs because everyone said at the beginning of the season, all these so-called experts, the NFC least. They kept calling us the NFC least. And no matter how much I don't like the other teams, I want our whole division to do well. Mm-hmm. If our whole division does well, we can beat up on each other all we want. I just want other teams to beat up on each other just as much as we do and let the sharpest knife come out the drawer, which is the NFC East, and all of us still finish above 500 and make the playoffs. That's all I really care about, and that's why I'm sleeping standing up here lately. All right. I think that's enough about the playoffs right now. Let's turn our attention to something that went down on Saturday that no one saw coming. The game turned out to be a demolition derby, but only one car was playing the correct way.
You got to specify when you say
the Ohio State Buckeyes got trampled by that team up north, and said is like, I hope we play them again. Well, not so much said. Here is what the college playoff picture is looking like right now before we go into championship weekend, which again can turn things upside down, right? At number 6, we have Nick Saban and his guys, the Alabama Crimson Tide. At number 5, we have and shout out to Coach 30. He did his thing. Right? When we at number 5, we had the Ohio State Buckeyes. At number 4, we have Caleb Williams and his painted fingernails. At number 3, we have TCU, the Horned Frogs. At number 2, we have the team up north, Block M. And sitting at number 1, said, who's at number 1?
You muted, said.
Rudy, can you stop drinking, bro?
He's not even going to say nothing.
Hey,
what is there to say?
Stop drinking, bro.
All right, Bulldog.
24-1.
All right, so here's the question: is 5 and 6, you sit in a perfect spot. You sit back, you wait for things to happen, someone to lose, and you wind up in the playoffs. At number 4, and you get the number 1 team. Out of these conference championships right here, coming up this weekend, which is going to be another great weekend, who do we see not making it to this playoff 1 through 4? Because TCU plays, Michigan plays, USC plays in the conference championship, and Georgia plays in the conference championship. Which one of these teams do you guys see not making it to this to these playoffs?
Well, Georgia play like Vanderbilt, don't they? So
Georgia does not play Vanderbilt.
Play LSU. We can lose and still make it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they're 12-0. I mean, what?
I think USC maybe has the greatest chance because they already lost to them.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it was a 1-point loss. And I heard some people arguing today. I heard somebody argue like, okay, it was a 1-point loss. And it was an emotional game, blah, 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 blah. But it could happen. You know what I'm saying? I personally would love to see all these teams take care of business and just make it to the playoff because I don't want to see Bama and I don't want to see Ohio State. They were frauds from the beginning. They seriously, they struggled all season. They made it off of their name. So, I would love to see two teams that we weren't necessarily expecting to be in there make it. USC could have folded, in this last game, but they didn't. They stepped up and took care of business.
Man, they did handle business.
So if not
TCU.
USC, but if not USC, then who?
TCU plays on Saturday. They play Kansas State. Kansas State is a really tough team, right? They beat them before.
Yeah.
But this is a really tough team that they play, and USC is playing Utah. Utah's no punk on defense.
Man.
It's just tough to play teams twice in college, period.
Right.
Remember LSU that year they beat Alabama and then they had to play them again in the SEC championship, and they were mad about it. They're like, why should we have to play them again? Because I think they knew what time it is. Like, it just gets to a certain point where it's like, man, dude, you have to be truly, truly, truly dominant to just run over a team twice, when you're both at a high caliber.
Right.
So.
Metaphors, they're out.
I get asked a question. I get asked a question all the time, Metaphor.
Yeah.
Even though the logo's red and black.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Green Bay. That's green and yellow.
It's the same G, but
it's
different
the
colors.
same G.
It's still green and yellow.
Well, Metaphor says
I ain't got no green on.
He's seeing green because he's about to puke. He's calling the dinosaurs. It's time to Earl. Okay, listen. Michigan, Purdue. The one thing that I told you guys I'm never ever doing again this year was what?
Yeah.
Go for Purdue.
Michigan is rolling them. Sorry. They are rolling.
They are going to.
They're supposed to roll
them.
Purdue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That don't mean they will. Purdue has stood up out of nowhere from time to time.
Yeah.
No, they were playing in the weaker conference of the Big Ten.
Man,
I
mean, Northwestern had a shot at going to the Big Ten dance.
Let's be real.
Who was that Purdue I thought that was ranked that time?
We cannot pretend that this season for both NCAA and NFL has surprised us. I am not going. I can't be 100% on anybody. I can't. So, real talk. If Purdue were to win, I
can tell you one thing.
I'm not shocked. I don't. It's not likely, but I wouldn't be shocked.
I'd fire him, even with him be no issues. Man, beat Purdue, bro, and get out of here, and go get beat up by somebody else in the playoff.
If they stay at number two, which their quarterback actually played well on Saturday. I'm talking of the team up north. Their quarterback played really well. And if they could actually throw the ball, and they have like probably the best running back in college right now, he gets a chance to get healthy when on the December 31st. He has a chance to get healthy. Man, Michigan could shock some people. They could wind up in the national championship game. I didn't mean to say Michigan. I meant to say that team up north. So we'll edit that out. That's what we'll do.
That's what you meant, though.
I did not mean that. I meant that team up north.
The graphic departments do not do edits.
Graphics department will be editing that out. So it's just going to jump right over that part right there. Is TCU in any danger?
It's always in danger. It's still playing the same team twice.
Yep.
You're playing the same team twice. Kansas State can see what they did wrong and try to make adjustments.
Yep.
Utah saw what they did right, and they can see what they did right and what they did wrong. That allowed USC to make the game closer, and they can make adjustments to that.
Yep.
So it's tough playing the same team twice.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
metaphor.
Georgia played Alabama in the SEC championship, lost. They turned around and played them again and won. They still playing the same team twice. And what kills me is I get tired of hearing, well, if James Wilson here got hurt. Well, when we played them in Atlanta, the defensive end got hurt, who was weighing out Alabama.
Yeah.
And then I can't even think of the boy name. He transferred to Florida. He was a freshman, and he lost contain on tour.
Mm.
He didn't do his job. It was second and 26 at the end of the game. So don't give me that Jameson Williams was down. It happens. Next man up. Just so happened he was a freshman.
Yep.
It's
And
part
he
of the
gave
game.
up a bomb.
It's
It
part of
happened.
the
got
game.
Part of the game.
Yeah.
Part of
Look,
the
hey,
game.
see it? Same thing, make you laugh, make you cry.
Just said, boy,
He said next man up.
boy, next man up, player.
Yeah.
Next man up. Hey, well, that's the NCAA playoff picture. Now, speaking to give them their flowers, there's this thing called Mind of a Man podcast.
Mhm.
There's this thing called Mind of a Man podcast. I need you guys to go check this thing out, okay? Listen, it is revealing. It makes you sit back and think, and it happens to be this guy right here's project, and he does it really well. He does it really well. So, Ant, we are proud of you, man. You got some good things happening right there. So make sure y'all go check out Mind of a Man podcast. It's on YouTube. Is it on your Twitter page as well, Ant?
Man, listen, I ain't start fooling with Twitter until I came to First String. Now I fell in love with Twitter.
First String had you.
You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
look, he's always looking for hate. So he's always
Not on Mind of a Man. I ain't looking for none of that.
No, just go listen to my man. He makes you think. I really do like your Oh, Bruce Glass said his podcast is pretty good. There you go. He says his podcast is pretty good.
Thank you, Bruce.
Listen, man, go check him out, man. We really do. It gives you some insight into how this guy's mind works. So that's a brilliant mind under that hat right there, under that Scully, for real.
Hey.
It's a brilliant mind under there.
Under that Scully.
Hey, I'll take it because he had me hot earlier.
Hey, I'm gonna work you, bro. I'm gonna work you. You know I am. Come on now. Hey,
but
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, man, I honestly though, I've made a lot of changes. I did something else for a couple years before I kind of transitioned to what I'm doing now. And it's really under self-improvement. You know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely want to do a platform for the men, you know, where I hold myself and other people accountable. And that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Like, people who don't know much about me, you know, husband, father, all that. But I'm a man of faith, you know, but I'm not perfect. And so I like to take people down those avenues to kind of see, you know, the things that I kind of filter through. And kind of just talk my way through life and the things that happen. So, you know what I'm saying? Anybody who checks me out, if you want to check it out, please inbox me on Twitter or anything like that, and I can get you links and stuff like that. Thank you for anybody who support. Appreciate you, Pick, for spotlighting.
Man, I'm always going to support, bro. I'm always going to support. It's called Mind of a Man podcast. Mind of a Man podcast. It's his Twitter handle. It's literally his Twitter handle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And John said he's gonna check it out as well. Okay, so
what
listen
you said, Pick? I mean, say it.
I was saying type it into the chat.
Oh, I'm on my phone. I'm sorry.
Lady, hey, put that in the chat for us, please. Put that in the chat for us. All right.
Yes, it's on Apple Podcasts too.
Yep. Oh, look at you.
Man, I know what I'm doing a little bit.
Yeah, you do.
Some.
Ant, you ready?
Yes, sir.
It's time for everybody's least 5 minutes in the One First String podcast. Let's get it, Ant. Go.
Somebody pull it up for me because I'm on my phone. I'm trying to get to it. Okay, thank you. All right. So, first of all, welcome to 5 Good Minutes with AntMoe. This is the best piece of content that you're gonna get on this platform in any capacity. Dallas Cowboys, as you see up under there, lurking over Philly carcasses. That's basically giving you. I mean this, guys, and this isn't even a part of the points, but I really mean this. I believe that the Cowboys still have a great chance to creep up to that number 1 spot. I believe that Philly is either going through a lull or they really are starting to come back down to earth with the rest of us football earthlings. And if I don't know who the team could be that could possibly beat them, you know what I'm saying? And we dropped the ball by losing to Green Bay, but I think they have a great chance of still, getting to where they're trying to get. So listen, 3 games in 12 days. Don't be fooled by the schedule. Execution matters. Let's keep it simple. For years and years and years, the Cowboys, actually over the past 3 to 4 years, even go 5, they haven't been doing well on Thanksgiving, but they beat up on inferior opponents and on the NFC East since Dak Prescott has been at the helm. And we've been given essentially 5 to 6 guaranteed wins and beating up on inferior opponents. And I am urging Cowboy fans across the world to stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Jerry does not need to whisper sweet oil nothings into our ears anymore.
Oh.
Let's stop doing this, guys. Let's hold these guys to the fire and expect for them to execute when it matters. Why do I say that? I don't know what you said, but and I'll tell you other reasons why. Like right here, since Dak has returned from injury, listen, we've led the league in scoring. We led the league in scoring last year, and y'all saw what happened. We couldn't score. We couldn't move the ball against San Francisco. If we can't stop the run, Debo and McCaffrey will once again make us look like little boys. If we look at the defense or the offense, the team as a whole, 13 penalties, 86 yards. That type of stuff is unacceptable. Simply, listen, when we get to the playoffs, this type of thing it's going to lose. You're going to lose the game. You're going to lose, and you're not going to get to the second round of the playoffs. Last week, I told you, it'll be another first-round exit. Over these next 5 to 6 games, and I put it on here, as you can see the teams that we play. We play the Jags, Eagles, Texans, Commanders. That's it. And all those teams, the majority of them can run the ball. With Washington now having a newfound love for the running game again, they present a big problem. Period. We've not proven, even Dalvin Cook in our dismantling of the Minnesota Vikings, he still ran for about 70-something, 80-something yards. You know what I'm saying? But when you put teams in a position to have to throw the ball because you're up by 30, it changes the dynamics of the running game. And so I want guys, I just encourage the fans who watch to pay attention to this. Stop making us look like fools out here saying that we're going to the Super Bowl every year. It's kind of getting disgusting and embarrassing as a Cowboy fan at this point. You got to take them Cowboy panties off and just look and evaluate this team for what they are. One thing y'all got to give me credit on is when I do my 5 good minutes, I tell the whole truth. I don't wear silver and blue rose colored glasses because I don't believe in it.
Apparently, you wear no panties though.
Nah, don't do me like that now. So hold on. Stick with me now. Cowboys sweep the Giants. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that the Cowboys 5-1. The rest of the way they'll take care of business. Now let me get to this. Let me get to this before Lady A does.
Because I was.
Because the tea is coming, so I'm just gonna beat her to it. Odell Beckham reportedly fell asleep on a plane and did not hear them say put on a seatbelt. Was it a stewardess?
Yes, a flight attendant.
Flight attendant tells him to come off to get off the plane. He says, "I was asleep. I'll put my seatbelt on." The options were remove him from the plane or remove everybody from the plane. They proceeded to send his luggage to Los Angeles without him and delayed, hundreds of people on a flight.
Yep.
This type of thing is, first of all, let me say this. I do believe Odell, not because he could be a potential Cowboy. I do believe that there are people out here who are just negative and they're haters. And, they do want to usurp their authority and power over you at times. With that being said, Jerry was asked this morning on local radio, would this affect him possibly still signing to the Cowboys? And he said a resounding no. To end this, I do believe that we need somebody to also kind of help. We're seeing CD start to kind of develop some consistency and getting some good yardage. Listen, man, I always leave a little room for somebody to have some kickback on something. But that was 5 good minutes with AntMoe. What we got?
Hey, listen, I heard on good authority that stewardess was a New York Giant fan. Just telling you what I heard.
Ain't he meeting with them first, though?
No, he's supposed to meet with y'all first. But
I heard the opposite.
But Lady A, you may be able to confirm this. I heard that he's also supposed to be going up to Buffalo for a meeting with them.
He actually has a few meetings scheduled, but I do feel like he was targeted as well. I'm not a big Odell fan. Actually, when he was with the Giants, I was known to clown him quite a few times. But I feel like he was definitely targeted. He's in the news a lot right now. Oh my God. Metaphor, go sit down. Go. Right.
She didn't put him in the corner. At least she didn't put him in the corner. She told him to step away from the keyboard.
No. Sit down in the corner. That's where you need to go. Sit down in the corner because you're gonna be there a while. But I do feel like, you know, when you're in the press, you know, a lot, sometimes you do get targeted. A lot of people that were on that flight, some people were defending him, saying he was asleep, you know, and they didn't really give him much option. Like it was just like,
right.
Once he said, "I'll put on my seatbelt," they were like, "No, it's too late. We've already called the police." And so then he got angry and apparently had like a little attitude, but I would have too. So,
all right. Well, Sid, you got anything?
Nah, I'm good.
Sid said he's good. Hey,
Sid tapped out.
Don said you owe me 5 minutes now. And what's the podcast? Cut it off 5 minutes. All right, listen up.
That is funny.
Just a little bit of housekeeping right here. On Saturday, we will start our Christmas giving. On this Saturday, we will be sending someone a Amazon gift card for $100. Here are the rules. You must be a subscriber to the First Stream Podcast. You must chat during our Saturday show. And at the end of that show, someone will be awarded a $100 Amazon gift card. It'll be sent to you right away. And I think for the next 3 Saturdays, we'll be giving away something. So this week, it'll be a $100 Amazon gift card. Subscriber in the chat at the end of the show, we will announce.
We got to get him something else. That's too easy. We got to get him something else.
Hey, we like subscribers. So thank y'all for hanging in there with us, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. Don't forget to tell a friend about First Stream Podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell to enable alerts for First Stream Podcast. We are presented by Bet Rivers. Make sure you download that Bet Rivers app, www.betrivers.com. You must be 21 years or older to play there. Say it. It's a 2-hour joint, man. It's a 2-hour joint, so I think we can't call it an OG classic. We'll just call it a classic.
You pass classic and OG player.
You might well retire that phrase.
Hey, I'm ready to eat, player.
We done.
All right, let's go. All right, say it, tell them, man.
Hey, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Artlist.io